I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head, constantly thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts...
Alright, malicious, delicious people, welcome to a 3 o'clock in the morning build, because I decided to make a video at 3 o'clock in the morning with deep, wholesome tones, because I don't want to wake up my mom. Yeah, that would suck. Anyway, so the Ghoul Saw is a bit of a challenge for myself, and essentially gamers are either a challenge-based person or a praise-based person. I'm a praise-based person, but the way I take that is by getting challenged to see what I can do with shitty weapons. And this is one of those shitty weapons, but keep in mind, with the new melee influence, this is actually not that bad of a weapon, honestly. Especially since it actually hits multiple times per swing, which it doesn't necessarily say that. It actually does, as you're swiping, it hits multiple times. You get this from the Tenno Vent Kids Bash Lab in the dojo. Keep in mind that some dojos or some clans do not have the Bash Lab because of it being tied to some controversial stuff. But essentially, that's the only place you can get it, or you can go and grab it during one of the events. But if you also have a solo one, you are going to have to build a Bash Lab to build this. But essentially, if you want to have everybody's favorite little clown, as well as a nice little Ghoul Saw, and if you are watching my content, you most likely have both of these things. And I would enjoy teaching you how to use this thing with the brand new melee influence. And yeah, it's a very, very cool build. Needs a little bit of help with Nautilus, but what melee build doesn't nowadays, since Nautilus is now immortal. So yeah, I will get you to that build. Here you go. Alright, for the piece of information I want to share with you today, I want to share the fact that with this build, you are not supposed to attack the Acolyte directly. What you do instead is you look for a large group of enemies besides the Acolyte, and you rush them. As long as the Acolyte is in 20 meters of you with melee influence, you will gather a really, really big amount of... what they call status procs. There we go, my brain. Anyway, you get all status procs, and specifically big status procs, and you'll be able to kill them real quickly. And for that, we have Voltage Strike, but you can also go for Shocking Touch if you don't have Voltage Strike. Because we're going to go with Weeping Wounds, Blood Rush, Prime Reach, Pressure Point, but keep in mind this is a free slot since we have Condition Overload as well, and it does not go multiplicatively. And we also have Organ Shatter. We also have Butcher's Revelry, and we'll be focusing on one combo. This one right here, Rectus Wrath. We'll be doing 300 hit multiplier with a guaranteed impact on the first hit. Second hit will have a 100% multiplier with a guaranteed slash attack, a slash proc. We'll be getting 300 on the third one with no guarantees, and 400 on the last attack on the fourth one, essentially, with a guaranteed slash and a guaranteed knockdown. We'll also be using Ghoul Rush to keep our combo up as we're rushing towards another group of enemies. Speaking of grouping of enemies, we will also be using Nautilus for this demonstration, and Nautilus is equipped like this. Manifold Bond, Cordon, some survivability, some little aid, which is Shield Charger and Guardian. We'll also be using Medi-Ray. Aerial Bond is here because headshots will allow me to get his timer recovered, but keep in mind, Manifold Bond also does this with the 3 or more unique status effects, and Tenacious Bond will give me more crit damage. Keep in mind that you have to have a very specific weapon, which is capable of getting above 50% crit chance. But keep in mind that it's not too big of a bonus, especially since we're only going to be doing tier 1 crits. And, well, honestly, when it comes to melee, probably a very good companion to have. So, yeah, there's that. So, essentially, the Ghoul Saw was a bit of a joke weapon. Um, and it was basically made by, was it Steve? Who was told that somebody wanted to use the Ghoul Saw, but they also wanted to ride it. So one of the combos is to ride it, which is hilarious, but it's probably not the best combo since it is just meow and then like kind of sort of like does okay damage. But focusing on the regular attacks, you do get 2 instances of two instances of guaranteed slashes. And keep in mind that also transfers to meta influence, which not a lot of people know about that. And the way that meta influence works is essentially it gathers all of the statuses on top of that enemy, combines them into one status, and spreads them all out. This is why you actually need to go rush something other than the Acolyte in order to do damage to the Acolyte. Because you're rushing them so hard that it will explode and kill the Acolyte with status procs, which is very nice, especially since those status procs just so happen to be slash procs, which goes through armor. Very, very good on something that has damage on tuition as well. So, yeah. And that was the build, and that was the challenge for myself. And yeah, like I said, I'm a praise-based person, and I hope you give me at least a little bit of recognition. But you don't have to. It's not no rush, no hurry, essentially. But yeah. Remember to have wonderful, wonderful nightmares. I will see you in them. And remember, if you're watching my content, I know you're into it. Honey, honey. Mwah. Good night. Or good morning. Mm. Good night.
A valuable lesson.